Not long ago, we discussed tactics in dogfights and received dozens of questions about the pitch axis, radiator use, and other advanced mechanics. This topic deserves more than a few sentences in the hotline section, so here we go. Let's start with setting up the keys we'll need. Go to Controls, Aircraft, and then Full Reel Controls. This will give you additional options in the Manual Engine Control section. First of all, set up a convenient key for the engine controls mode. This will give you easy access to engine control in battle. Set up the mixture, propeller pitch, and radiators similarly to the roll and pitch axes. We recommend turning relative control on so that you can change these numbers smoothly. You'll also need to assign keys for toggle auto radiator and toggle auto prop pitch, since on some aircraft you might need them to get full manual control. There are even separate controls for different engines if your favorite plane has more than one. Now it's time to practice. In battle, you can press the key assigned to engine control mode, and you will see on the bottom of your screen which systems are currently working on auto. The mixture shows the fuel-to-air ratio. When you're flying low, there's usually enough oxygen to make fuel burn efficiently, but the higher you go, the thinner the atmosphere gets, so sooner or later your engine will start choking. If it does, try adding less fuel. With some planes, it'll make the engine work as usual right away. But if the effect is negligible, you should check the supercharger that compresses the air before it gets into the combustion chamber. It usually has several stages for different altitudes. If you switch between these stages on time, you can preserve the optimal boost and keep the engine's power at its maximum. And if your plane has a turbocharger, which means no stages, check if there's a way to increase the RPM. Some models have that option. Our next point of interest is the propeller pitch. That changes the angle of the blades on your aircraft. When the pitch is at its maximum, or course, the blades are basically eating into the air. That requires a lot of work and thus reduces the RPM. When the pitch is at its minimum, or fine, the RPM gets off the charts because the blades meet very low resistance. Remember, when you see 100 on your screen, it means that the pitch is at its lowest rather than highest. If you push the control handle, the blades get 100% vertical, so the pitch becomes low, aka fine. And if you pull it, you make the pitch high, aka coarse, making the blade's angle almost 0 degrees. We hope that's clear now. Now, what pitch do I need in battle, you might ask? There's no single answer. Finding the perfect pitch is an art that distinguishes the real aces from, well, simply good pilots. It's a constant search for the perfect balance, a search for the optimal engine mode. Let's give you an example. We'll go fly the German TA-152H1 fighter. Set the thrust to maximum, set the pitch to 100% low, and start accelerating. The RPM is getting dangerously high. We don't want to kill the engine, so we first increase the pitch to 90 and then to 80, always checking the RPM indicator to keep it on a safe level. Looks like a perfect solution, right? You wish. Take the BF-109 F4 and start taking off at 100%. And the RPM will go off the charts, destroying the engine before you even gain enough speed on the ground. So, you've got to study your aircraft and only experiment on test flights. Our next point is feathering. It's a separate function available on select aircraft. Feathering allows your rotor to align the blades with the airflow to minimize drag. It might come in handy in case of an engine failure and allow you to glide with almost no speed lost, and maybe get to the closest airfield. Now, radiators. That's simple. If you have an enemy on your 6 and you absolutely must gain some more speed, close the folds. If there's no one around and your engine could use some cooling, open them up. Finally, the switching engines option. It's rarely used, only when you want to control a damaged bomber, for instance. If one of its engines is damaged, the thrust will be unbalanced, spinning the aircraft. To prevent that, you'll need to turn off the opposing engine and feather the rotor blades. Well, looks like we've covered this advanced topic. It's been very satisfying, so it's time we answered some of your questions.